A reality check for most South Africans. Government has enforced an adjusted level 3 lockdown to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 as the country has entered a second wave of the pandemic. As more restrictions are enforced, like the prohibition of indoor and outdoor gatherings for 14 days, the wearing of masks is compulsory, and failure to do so could land one up in jail.
A person who does not wear a mask covering over their nose and mouth in a public place will be committing an offense. A person who does not wear a mask could be arrested and prosecuted. On conviction, they will be liable to a fine or to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 6 months, or both a fine and imprisonment.
Reckless behavior due to alcohol intoxication has been identified as one of the reasons that has contributed to the increased transmission, and therefore the sale of alcohol has been banned.
Therefore, under the strengthened regulations, the sale of alcohol from retail outlets and on-site consumption of alcohol will not be permitted. The prohibition on consuming alcohol in public spaces like parks and beaches remains. Distribution and transportation will be prohibited with exceptions that will be explained by the minister.
The president further announced that the country could expect vaccines in the second quarter of next year and has already made a payment to the COVAX facility.
We can confirm that we have signed off on the agreement with COVAX, and the Solidarity Fund has made the initial payment of 283 million rand to the facility.
In the president's words, South African citizens have let their guard down, and unfortunately, we are all paying the price. Government hopes that these regulations will flatten the curve of the virus and ease the strain on the country's healthcare system. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma has reiterated that the new curfew times must be adhered to. This comes after President Cyril Ramaphosa moved the country, of course, to lockdown level 3, saying it was necessary to help slow the spread of the coronavirus. Addressing the nation last night, Ramaphosa banned the sale of alcohol for 2 weeks, placing a curfew across the country from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily, as well as ordering that non-essential establishments such as bars as well as restaurants must close at 8 p.m. NOSIPHO MNCUBE has more from Melville.
We are coming to you from a restaurant called Venice here in Melville on the very popular 7th Street that's filled with bars and pubs and restaurants that we now know will be severely affected by the lockdown announcement made by President Cyril Ramaphosa last night, moving us to the adjusted lockdown level 3. So we are here to get some reactions from owners, from the waiters, from people working within these restaurants as to what are their thoughts on what has happened in the country with regard to moving to lockdown level 3. I have with me a barman, Farad Katab, who is just going to speak to us about his feelings on the announcement. Thank you for your time, Farad. I see you're moving to barista position now, no longer mixing those drinks. Just tell me your reaction about what the president has announced yesterday.
Okay, my reaction towards what the president has announced yesterday, my feelings towards it, it's kind of sad also as well, because it's letting so many employees, like many barmen as me, as myself, out of jobs now. Now all we have to do is just sell coffee and juice and maybe make ups for the customers. And recently we've been opening like for 3 months, so it's also like for 3 months exactly. So it's also bad for business as well. So many customers, a lot of customers comes to us for a few drinks because that's what makes them happy, and that's what we are entertaining our customers, making sure their well-being is good, and that's it.
I see the traffic coming into here is not as large as we'd see it around midday and afterwards. Obviously, most people driven by the fact that they probably here for some sundowners, they're here for some drinks, but now having to rely on the sale of food, especially now that you've just mentioned that the restaurant has only been open for 3 months. Just give me the general sense from your colleagues, more especially, any fears of how long the restaurant will be able to withstand what's taking place now?
Me, myself, I'm not sure. The rest of my colleagues also as well, they're not sure. They're just waiting for the president to see what he has to say. All we have to do is just work hard and just stay strong here in the restaurant to try and make it do at its best every month. So we're just now also waiting patiently as well.
I see some spots going down the road, some have even closed down. Can you tell me about what you've seen here over the past couple of months on 7th Street?
Okay, in a couple of months I've seen, many customers goes to lots of bars, lots of clubs, lots of places. Now that will be now prohibited because of the alcohol, and they don't have to do that because of social distancing as well for the safety for the people. So I think the rest are also disappointed because it's also letting their businesses down, as well as the employees, as well as the employers as well. So basically all I have to just say, I don't know what's happening next. All we just have to do is wait for the best and just stay strong.
Had you gained some loyal customers coming here regularly, as we see with the other restaurants here? Do you think you had enough time to build or secure yourself those customers who will come here regardless of the fact that they won't be able to purchase liquor here at this restaurant, and come here perhaps for your food or deliveries from your food?
Well, basically, our loyal customers, they come every morning to have breakfast. We have one of the best chefs that cook the best food also as well. So they basically come also as well for breakfast. So definitely they won't miss a chance, even though there's no liquor. That's also a disappointment for them, because usually our customers come with our favorite cocktails, our specials. Now all of that, it's all gone now. So they always have to have this breakfast. So our loyal customers are just gonna have coffee, chinos, and juice.
Thank you so much, Farad. That's Farad Katab, giving us a sense of this establishment. We know now that this place has been open for a few months, relying also on the sale of liquor, as he's mentioned now that some of these spots have cocktail specials or drink specials, for example, that lead to a lot of people coming here on 7th Street just to, relax and wind down and have some drinks. But with the move to lockdown level 3, of course, there are fears that a lot of people won't be coming. So I've spoken to some owners who did not agree to speak to me on camera, but were willing to have a conversation about their thoughts on what has taken place here. Many of them very disappointed, many of them are visibly very worried and stressed about what this means for their restaurants, saying that the last couple of months weren't enough for them to try and pick up the pieces from what has happened previously with the hard lockdown, worries that they might have to resort to shutting their doors and closing their stores or their restaurants rather permanently, due to the fact that they will not be able to maintain their restaurants or pay the rent. As we know that previously, when we had spoken to some restaurant owners during the hard lockdown, they were saying they rely on the sale of liquor a lot to be able to get all the expenses out of their way, well, some of the expenses out of their way, such as rent, and a huge chunk of their expenses. So we will be going around speaking to more people, speaking to waiters about how they're feeling about this, what are their worries and concerns, and their thoughts on the announcement made by President Cyril Ramaphosa moving the country to level 3 with the lockdown.